Even I want to see how bad with my little class. I got sick. My air conditioner broke down. I had my window open last night. Had the fan on me, dropped to 70 something degrees. I don't know. But it's hot today. I went to the store just like this. And one thing I noticed is that the way they were treating this one girl that was a paying customer, just because, yeah, she is a crack addict. And when Tony was up there, he's an Arabic. He one of those Arabics that always used to go to the Middle East. Every time we go to the Middle East, they get these uniforms or something. But they didn't have them. But anyway, it made me thinking about these two people that I met up here. The first thing they explained to me is they're bipolar. And then they go on to explain to their early childhood to me, which, of course I don't know their names, what exactly it was that. One male, female, approximately right around the same age. The male younger by like 2 years. Maybe not. But anyway, both of them very young age. Whooped. They were whooped. Another son who couldn't talk. They were both got whooped and sexually abused. So so they're on a lot of medication for the trauma that they had as a child because them getting blamed and fought. And most of them, like this trauma starts happening before they can walk and talk. During the early ages of the rapid development, especially of the brain, of the frontal lobe, and the cerebral. So basically, they're giving them Seroquel. They'll feel sleepy, which makes you wonder, okay, it's going through, but because your body makes its own Seroquel, it's probably flushing a lot of it out, it's coming out. And number two is causing your body not to produce as much Seroquel, and you're already not producing a lot. So then you are dependent on that Seroquel in a sense, because once your body stops making and the levels drop off, you're going to need a substitute. Then, but it won't be sufficient, I believe. And so only because the mind is amazing piece of technology, for lack of a better word. but and but like both like they sort of flaunt the children like it's their fault. You got whooped because that's what the white man did. When I first said that's what the white man did. They whooped you. So, but it makes them very. And I would say they're not as articulate as they should be, because they don't really get they're not really being like taught or lessons through the verbal language as much as they're getting the physical. Of course they might be getting some verbal, but maybe it's more of a bullying nature, insulting nature, like get your ass up and do your dishes, as opposed to like as a family, all of them going in there, so they all in on it, all of them, participating in doing the dishes, and the parents setting an example, because then automatically, without hitting them, if you set an example, they would just automatically just get the habit of doing it, so you wouldn't have to hit them. Same thing with anything else in life, because mammals are like that. So, in the early sexual abuse, like they're the mindset that this is normal, that that's what that's like. That's it's a wave of causing a lot of harm to the male, in the sense that he's getting these double binding signals. One is this is his mother that he loves, and is like and this love is coming from an innate survival mechanism of this person is feeding and totally, so the child becomes very bonded to this caretaker. This caretaker is teaching them that life is about pain, and then you inflict it on people that are like smaller, like your children. So anyway, so the idea of them giving them Seroquel because they're bipolar, because of their early childhood trauma, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, if you're bipolar that you got whooped and sexually abused. It's a trauma, that happens in a child's life, and um, usually what makes it a double binding is the self medication. That's like the Jekyll Mr. Hyde thing going on there. Where they get a little bipolar at is when lines get crossed. Is with when they self medicate, when you bring in alcohol, when you bring in any type of other stimulant, food. Excuse me. Um, so giving them Seroquel, it's not going to change the reality of what they went through their early years or their early development years, as opposed to reintroducing them to more pleasant ways of responding uh, to everybody has some type of trauma. It could be a natural trauma, earthquake, fire, uh, floods, hurricanes, and etc. Or it could be health issues that can traumatize somebody. There's numerous ones, uh, from diabetes to cancer, and etc. Uh, and then there's also, narcissistic type of people that put trauma on you, like, like when you whoop your kids, it causes sort of a narcissistic type of pleasure that you get from hitting these kids or seeing somebody fail, or like wanting revenge off of somebody or something, being justified or not. Uh, you know, um, opposed to like you wanting revenge and you don't want this person to really suffer. Maybe you just want them to have to go to jail, or if they like if they go to jail, at least you get the death penalty. But it's not like you want to act it out. So, uh, but anyway, I mean they're well trained here. They're well trained. They know to call 911. But anyway, they're in a lot of pain, but it's the norm here, opposed to, and then when you compound the religious factor to it, and I think really in the 60s and 70s, the United States has really attacked the black community, and using the religious people like Al Sharpton, Jesse James, Jesse Jackson rather, to set a poor example. And I mean, like, the worst thing that we could have did was ever, like, we separate ourselves from the rest of America by being African American. And because if you think logically, when the British and the French and the Spaniards came over here, they called the Indians that was here, the natives, when they saw them, they called them India because they thought they were in India. So therefore, it'd be only logical South America with its equation would have people with some balance, and so in that place, uh, uh, so uh, that they actually came over the Atlantic and invaded this land by killing, you know. And if you don't want to think about the people that they slaughtered and murdered, and thinking that some of these people that you hear about black people hanging from trees, here's these white immigrants coming. I don't think we ever had anybody to come to America that caused so much damage and destruction as we have now. And I think that we have to really look at healthcare because, you know, instead of these people learning how to live new memories, to continue with their life with doing new stuff, they're thrust in this revolving scenario where they're living over and over again the trauma that happened to them at a small age, either by their narcissistic, by striking out at other people and getting enjoyment from it, like 50 Shades of Grey was very popular. Not a book I read, and not what you know, I, I don't, so I think that it takes a very, so anyway, what I'm saying is that we really do need to really think about our health care and how we are handling these kids because obviously, of course, on the TV and the propaganda, you hear from the police and people in church or whatever saying, oh, they just gotta keep their meds on. The thing is, yeah, like if you're on that cerebral, yeah, you can't just stop like boom, it's like alcoholics stopping drinking. You have to, what they can do is just taper you off stuff or introduce you to some other pill that, will help you, taper off, have less amounts in it and continue doing that. But as for, like the Seroquel replacing and changing the function of this developed brain, that they don't know as much as they act like they do with these pills, causes I see a lot of heartache, and the behavior is not acceptable. I think that people must live in the now, deal with reality of the past, but not dwell in cover. Oh well, it's too dark to see me. There. Homeless. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of being here in my melon. And I think I look cute regardless. And I say, if my hair making me look cute, I need to introduce you to some people around here that have a lovely, lovely. They keep their hair in lovely extensions. So I guess. This man had sex with a donkey. I heard on the Breakfast Club and with the donkey of the day. So, where am I? What happened? I don't see me. Oh, I covered it up. I didn't mean to cover it up. Surprise. So if they could have, that's why I'm single now. What does it matter? I'm not in there. Anyway, because I think we gotta really look at America, and we really need to realize that the way America has been functioning has not been it hasn't been good for the citizens of American people. You can look at Trump, and you can look at the Republicans. It's like like Trump now wants to punish. I don't know who, the Republicans, Obama, the Democrats, because they did not really do their homework. They did not really get together with the numerous different departments that are at their beck and call, and they didn't take in consideration. Excuse me, that it's not something that you're going to punish these people, to make them, have their health insurance, if you're going to punish the Republicans. It's just that, it's asinine. It's just wrong to cause more harm and death and damage to the American citizens when especially Trump was talking about restructuring the bridges. I can't even think now. Fixing the bridges, fixing the the roads, maybe bringing train service back. Nobody's happy flying. I can't stand to fly. I'm so scared the whole time when I get down from the plane. I'm just off mental. And then I can't get out of the place right away because I don't have a car. So I used to have to wait on the car service, which these people don't. The one thing like with that girl up at the store, one thing I noticed with the mental illness is that people think that this is a good time, this is a good person to bully, this is a good person to talk, this is a good person to rip money off of. So here you have this person who's already damaged, and from the early childhood trauma of the whooping and the sexual abuse that happened before puberty. And I'm sure a lot of men find a lot of, enjoyment, sex gratification in every possibility they can. But when you do it without empathizing or understanding that your pleasure is at somebody else's expense, you're causing somebody else discomfort. Even if some men think they're training their kids or whatever the reason is. When they're in their 50s, they're in their 40s, and they're in their 60s, they're having to still relive the trauma of their early childhood, the most important development years, of the brain development over and over again, and then putting them on pills like a Seroquel or something that you just can't change the past. Unless you have a time machine to go back and read and stop people from whooping their kids. But they're not going to stop whooping the kids. They're programmed to do it in the South. They're programmed to hurt themselves, and hurt their children, and hurt people. Strike out and hurt people. I think we have a really big problem in the United States, and you know, it's Trump is proof that with Russia interference that this is no longer a great country anymore. Now with the type of white trash we got up in the White House now, and you know why they're remodeling it, not because he calls it a dump or it is a dump. It's because they need to get all those bugs out that he done had his Russian friends running up in there planting bugs all over the goddamn motherfucking White House like a bunch of goddamn motherfucking morons. You want to know where the leaks are coming from? I think we can find them right in the White House, right coming out of Trump's mouth, right coming out of any type of like racist person that thinks they're clever, and this is supposed to be their land and they're entitled to it and all that other bullshit propaganda they bought into. You know what I'm saying? And the next minute they're gonna tell you how their ancestry is from Europe, and then the next minute they're gonna tell you why they're worshiping the fucking Confederate flag because it has to show our history. And I got news for them: black people have more of a history here. Have families here, fought in the wars here. Only thing white people literally did was bring death, destruction, disease, and extinction of our, excuse me, my nose, like of the buffalo, and most of our other animals. That's what their type of thinking has got. And I wish North Korea would wise up and really invest, because like you can make, if you wanna blow something up, you can blow it up, any means. You know what I'm saying? You can use water. Come on now. Come past air. Come on, oxygen can blow up. So you can basically use anything. You don't have to use something as toxic as nuclear energy. If they would like more giving all their people, maybe teaching them in high school, having all your kids making their little solar things so they can have light in the evening. So maybe they won't see it out in the universe, but because they're not going to do anything here for America. And I think that you've outciphered all the money out. There's just no money. There's no more money for us to pay out to the health insurance. We can't afford to pay $7 for 7-Up in a hospital, and you could get that same hat for $1, maybe even less. So we just we're not Pretty much, I think they stole, robbed, and pillaged all they could from uh, the people. I mean, you can just look at any third world country. You can look at Mexico and all that stuff. It's all about the minerals. It's all about the money. It's all about what they can abstract by causing as much harm and damage and suffering to the people there that you want to have to do the work for you. When, yeah, that was great, 12th century type of thinking. But in reality, you can see today with modern slavery, as such as capitalism as we have, that people will be incentive, can work, you know, uh, for the illusion of this the dollar is you know people there are people like that, so there's no excuse. There really isn't when you already know and utilize the way that could cause less harm and damage. So there's no excuse unless you think you're just going to make money off of people's suffering, such as war and stuff like that, or making the people up in North Dakota, land real toxic and poisoning everybody else in America just to teach these Indians, this white man land. Well, the white man totally destroyed. I hope you take your ass to Mars. See how long you last there. 88 days. That's my. Never mind. I'm gonna go get rest.